high school sports fans. Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
You are watching the Varsity Media Sports Network. We are at Massapequa High School, home of the Chiefs, in a AAA battle where they're going to be taking the field up against the Uniondale Knights. Uniondale sitting at 7-3-2 on the season. Massapequa 4-6-2. And this is a big matchup. My name is Robert Anderson. I am here with my partner, Brian Donahue. And Brian, it's Lifestyle Sports making this thing happen for us today. They've been a partner all season long and throughout the playoffs. The Massapequa Booster Club playing a huge role in today's game, helping us get this thing televised on Varsity Media. And they want to say a thank you to TSI, the Schwartz Institute, Physical Therapy, and Sports Performance helped contribute to that Booster Club to make the game happen today. So we want to thank everybody. And Brian, we have got quite the matchup today. Two teams in slightly different positions, but two teams that can battle it out here. So, Mr. Donahue, what do we got on deck?
We got two contrasting styles out on this field, Robin. Like you said, two different positions. Uniondale is essentially playing for seeding right now. They're trying to catch the 4, the 5 seed. And Massapequa is a do-or-die scenario right there, outside the playoff scenario right now. They are a win-and-in position, but it's a win, and they need a lot of help to get in.
And some of that help they're counting on from their coach out there. And their playoff scenario is?
So they need to win, but they also need a Baldwin loss or a tie and a Plainview Old Bethpage loss. So the game is in their hands, yes, but their fate is not entirely in their hands. Now, Baldwin has a game against Port Washington. Plainview has a game against Valley Stream Central. So they are win and then wait and see what happens.
Yeah, and you know that Coach Burke, all he cares about is what's going on the field. And part of what he has to pay attention to on the field are the guys on Uniondale that can make a difference in this one, Brian.
And number 9, Raymond Zavala, I have said all year long he is one of the most underrated players in Nassau County. He's a guy that puts in a lot of work out on that field, and he's a guy that we don't talk about a whole lot. He is incredibly technically gifted, can use that space well, and one of those guys he's going to try and find is Alberto Pineda, who's going to be playing up top.
Yeah, you can see them there, both big goal scorers getting the job done on that offensive side for Uniondale. And now we're going to take a look at the guys making a difference on the Chiefs side.
And for Massapequa, it's number 10, Jeremy Velez, who ironically is the other most underrated player in Nassau County to watch. He's someone we've had on our radar for the last few years, always on the stat sheet. He's going to be a guy playing in that middle of the field, putting in a lot of work, going head-to-head with Zavala. I'm excited for that matchup. And then number 3, Joseph D'Amico. He's going to be holding it down for that defense of Massapequa. Super important that he has a good game today.
You got it there, Velez and D'Amico trying to get this Massapequa Chiefs team right through. And 60 degrees right now at game time. And look at that. We've got them lining up, and we've got our Uniondale starters. Some adjustments made on the bus by Coach Nelson Cohen. Brian, what do we got?
So they're coming out as a 4-2-3-1. Great keeper, Harley Jean. We'll talk about him in a minute. Going across the back from left to right, Angel Rodriguez, David Portillo, Andrew Madrid, and Levy Castillo. Then on top of them is going to be 2 holding midfielders, XR Quijada and Diego Mejia. On top of them, 3 attacking midfielders, Elian Ulloa, Raymond Zavala, and Joshua Martinez, and then a solo striker in Alberto Pineda.
So some illnesses and some changes, and there he is, Mr. Gene.
Mr. Harley Gene, 64 saves, 3 shutouts on the season. So smooth in the back. He's got to have some good hands today. Wet conditions today. It's been rainy, it's been misty, and after these past couple days of rain, it's been wet. Ball's going to slip. He's got to have a good game today.
And we are going to take a break during the national anthem and bring back the other goalkeeper shortly after this.
Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
Now, we just finished up our national anthem, and now we are going to check back in, Brian, with the starters for this Massapequa Chief team.
Massapequa's rolling out with a 4-5-1 in the back. Philip Fiorentino is a keeper, 72 saves, 1 shutout. The back four, Caden Bowen, the aforementioned Joe D'Amico, Luke Anderson as our 2 center backs, and Peter Konstantikanos. In the middle, we've got Christian Lopez on the left, Holden Chaiko on the right, and in our middle 3, Jeremy Velez and Joe Mondello will be our attacking mids. Marcello Batista is our holding mid, and up top, their solo striker is Benjamin Vancura.
And a physical team they are, and in net for them is the senior goalkeeper, Philip Fiorentino. And you can take a look there. He's got 72 saves, an .867 save percentage. Coach said that he had a lot of work last season and this offseason. And, Brian, we'll talk about him later on, but I believe you recall him from the playoff game versus Port Washington, and he had quite the showing there. And their head coach is Matt Burke. Matt has been in charge of this team for 12 years. And for Uniondale, it's Coach Nelson Cohen, 22nd year.
That's a lot of years out here on this field, Rob, and they're going to bring a lot of experience. And I really like seeing out here, we got the Massapequa youngsters serving as ball boys today. All about that community out here in Massapequa.
It certainly is, and the game is underway, and we'll see who's going to dictate pace right out of the gate. And Uniondale, again, a little banged up coming into this one, but a very technical team on the Massapequa side. We could expect a little more physicality. And right now it's Uniondale trying to make something happen down on the left side, but broken up by Massapequa. And a handball is going to be called there, and you got to love that the hand went up quickly.
You know, and remember, too, all the pressure is going to be on Massapequa today. Uniondale is really not playing for much. They're playing for seeding, which really isn't going to mean a whole lot. All the pressure here today is on these Massapequa Chiefs.
And we've got a free kick, and that one's going to be placed into the box, a little bit deep, touch. So, again, it's Uniondale in their whites and the navy blue for the Massapequa Chiefs. And right now, Brian, it has been paced by Uniondale. Most of the touches, doing well, playing the ball back, is trying to spread out the field a little bit.
But, you know, Robin, looking at at both team splits, they are second-half teams, right? Massapequa has they allow 19 second-half goals. Uniondale has 13 second-half goals. So this is a second-half time of game.
And again, right now, it is Uniondale trying to make something happen in that midfield. Diego Mejia, a couple of touches. And we're going to discuss throughout the game how good these athletes are and how technical they are. A lot of skill on Coach Cohen's team, but also a lot of injuries that they're dealing with.
Yeah, 'tis the season for injuries. I know on my team I'm dealing with a bunch of them too. I'm sure you are as well. And, you know, for a game like today, And again, I told you, it's wet conditions out there. Even though it's not raining now, I just came from my practice where it's all kinds of slippery. That ball is flying all over the place. Kids are flying all over the place. And if they don't have the right studs on their cleats, if they're playing more of a turf shoe as opposed to a full grass cleat, they could be slipping around out here a lot. And that's something we got to keep an eye on.
And one of the guys that's not in the game, not because of injury, but we're going to, just mention him now, is the senior defender, number 3, and captain, Angel Velasquez. So he is what Coach called the captain's captain. He's been with them the entire ride, but he's sitting right now on 5 yellow cards. And Coach said that he's going to take a seat in this one. He's okay with it, and his captain's going to be back in action. So something that, it's great to hear Coach Cohen discuss it, address it, and say that his captain is going to be out there no matter what, hanging out, sitting with them, and doing what he's got to do no matter what, a leader.
And that's a veteran coach right there. When you're realizing that the next game is probably the more important one for these Uniondale Knights. It's not about now, it's about winning a county championship. And this Uniondale team is a team that really did a lot of damage last year. They had 2 thrilling overtime games, beating Oceanside and that double overtime game against Syosset. And they were conference champions 2 years ago. So they know what it takes to get into that postseason and have those deep postseason runs.
Right now, it looks like both teams feeling each other out a little bit, which is, again, last game of the season, maybe a little tentative, big throw down the line there. And it looks like it's off the back of Luke Anderson, and it's going to be a throw again. But Uniondale not establishing themselves in the offensive zone, but controlling possession in the middle of the field thus far.
And I want to look for Uniondale, in the game tapes I was watching with them, they're very techy. Right, they play a very, good tiki-taka style. They can move into space real well. It's a nice drive by Zavala.
And look at that little dish off there, and a left-footed shot by Ulloa. You got that one, right?
Ulloa, yes.
Ulloa. But going to his left foot, not the strong side, kicks it into the defender, but it's going to be a corner kick, and this is where they could be dangerous. They are a technical team. You've mentioned multiple times. You don't want to give them any free opportunities, and the corner kick is certainly a place they could do some damage.
We've got Joshua Martinez, number 18, on the kick here for Uniondale.
And that one is placed nicely into the box. The header, the second effort stepped into, but headed wide. Third effort put on Fiorentino, and you can chalk up his first save of the game.
Right, and if I'm Coach Matt Burke, I got to be sitting there. I got to be a little nervous right there. If, that's our first set piece of the game. I want to get my defense under control on those. I want that ball out and quick.
So at this time, too, we'll give you our officials for the day. The one closer to the side is Engin Suvak. And on the far side, veteran referee Randy Geyer, 2 of the best in the business. Veteran, keep the kids calm. One of the things that both of them are very good at is just keeping the temperature down and talking to the athletes.
I had Mr. Suvak in a game last week. He's very good at what he does. He's one of the class officials.
And a little bit of a turnover here. The shot on net. Gene makes the save, but Massapequa now getting their first on a turnover down in the defensive zone.
Right, and there's those great hands of Harley Gene. He, like I told you, he's very calm and confident back there. Very good presence. Big kid, big arms, big wingspan for him. That's a luxury as a keeper out there. He's long, lanky. He can play the position well.
That one dish down. Joe D'Amico is going to handle it. D'Amico sends it up the field. A nice little touch, but in the direction of, but not connecting with Ben Vancura. As Vancura again giving chase, a little bit too strong of a push there. Vancura, a junior striker. He was on the bench for a while, but coach said he's a jolt player. He's chaotic out there, contributes to the press, and that's something they really want to get going today is press, and unnerve this Uniondale defense.
Right now we're going to see Velez over the ball. We'll see what he can cook up. These can be dangerous balls here from Massapequa, especially from this distance. You guys at home who are watching and you're not totally familiar with soccer, even though that ball says it's right on the 30, got to add about 10 yards for the end zone. So this is about a 40-yard kick. I don't expect him to go to goal here, but he's probably just loft that up on the other side of the wall and let one of his guys make a play.
And that one is headed. A little touch and nice defensive play to clear the zone there. And they're going to call the push on Peter Konstantinakos. That little second effort there, thwarting the offensive push. So one of the other things that I spoke about with Coach Burke is that, you know, there's no lights here at Massapequa this late in the season on an overcast day, hoping that the lights don't play any kind of role in this game. But it is overcast, 60 degrees at game time. Black clouds overhead, wind blowing out to the west.
Right, and now, according to our rules in Nassau County Soccer, both teams would have had to agree to shorten halves before the game in order to shorten them, right? And they started at 40, so they're going to be playing 40s. They could agree to a shortened halftime if they wanted to, but one of the things you have to understand, for those of you at home and are not versant in our rules, is that if the refs call this game on account of darkness, they could call it with 20 minutes left in the game.
Right.
It's already overcast. It's already somewhat dark. Something we got to keep an eye on. And if, let's say, Uniondale's up 1-0 with 20 minutes left in the game and they call it, that's an official game. It's over. They're not replaying that game tomorrow. It's done and it's over.
And there you take a look at it. It is 60 degrees. There's no rain at the moment, but take a look at that flag. It is blowing to the backs right now of the Massapequa Chiefs offense. And again, this little injury on the field, we've got the officials, now the trainer on the field as well.
Luke Anderson, number 26, Travis Gill.
And we're going to take a little break right now just to make sure that everything's okay, and we'll be back on the Varsity Media Sports Network after this.
Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
And we're back on the Varsity Media Sports Network. It was Luke Anderson hobbling off the field. He's going to get attended to. And now we're back in action here, so we hope that Luke is all right and gets back out on the field.
There's another save from Harley Jean back there.
And here we come back the other way with the Knights. Nice little move there, pulling it back, but coughed up. And right on top of it again, the Knights with the challenge. And here comes a shot, and it's a goal, the first one of the game, and it looks like it was number 18. Am I right there?
That was Joshua Martinez, right? They found that empty space. Martinez with that rocket shot on the right-hand side. You know, there's Uniondale finding that space.
And there's a look at it. No shot at all, Fiorentino, as it just blasted by on the right-hand side. Joshua Martinez.
And I have a feeling Massapequa may have been a little turned around. They thought he might have been offsides. Our far side official was saying, nope, he was on, boys, keep playing. And he had that space, and there was no doubt in his mind he was going to goal the whole way.
And it's one of the reasons why Coach Cohen uses him a lot of times as a double 10. He said he is the future of this team. He just wants him to always stay connected to the game, stay in it for opportunities exactly like that. And another one set in his direction. Martinez now giving chase, and you can tell he's got a little swagger in there as he finishes with a shoulder-to-shoulder.
And that goal brings him up to 3 on the season for Joshua Martinez, and I have a feeling he's going to be looking for more today.
You can bet it, and he's definitely got a little energy right now. And we'll see how Massapequa responds, being in the situation they're in the standings and the game. They want to try to strike back as quickly as possible. And you got to wonder if, too, having Anderson off the field contributed. The center back was injured a lot of the year with an ankle, so we got to hope that that's not the case as he's still being attended to on the side.
Right, and, you know, they always say, coaches will always tell you that the 2 minutes before or right after a goal is the most dangerous 2 minutes because that's when guards are down, guards are up. You know, that's when a next goal can happen real quick. You know, I'd like to see Massapequa get some more scoring opportunities here to keep themselves in it just emotionally and psychically.
And this one is sent deep. And Fiorentino's going to wait for that one. And you notice on the left side on that last offensive drive for the Chiefs, it was Caden Bowen jumping in and joining. He will have a tendency to do that. Coach Burke said his nickname, the Dark Horse, because you never know when he's going to just come out of that backfield and win the race.
Yeah, on my team, we call that going rogue, when they push up a little too high, right? Now, so that's great that they can do that and they have that liberty, but we have to have, as a team, we need good communication. And I think one of the things we saw on Joshua Martinez's goal is that when Bowen was pushed too high, that allowed too much space there across that back line that let him slip through. And we just saw that again on that last play. Massapequa was good enough to recover and get that ball out. That's something we got to keep an eye on, and hopefully Massapequa can start making those rotations to cover that.
And they certainly will be paying attention as this one is sent forward. Gene, using his head there, thought about the hands for a second, look where he was, and then made sure he didn't touch it.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen keepers in that same exact situation, just not aware of where they are on their field, and their instincts kick in, and they just grab that ball, and next thing you know, there's a quick card, and now all of a sudden fortunes are switching. But high IQ play there from Harley Jean.
And another turnover at midfield, and here comes back the other way. A nice through ball sent, and it looks like Uoa might have been offside on that one, but regardless, it's going to stop that scoring opportunity, and Massapequa was going to get it the other way.
Now, it's not time to hit the panic button for Massapequa yet, but if we had timeouts in soccer, this is a time where Matt Burke would call a timeout, make some adjustments, try and figure out what's going on here, because this is not looking like the Massapequa team that I've been crunching tape on, right? They are looking a little out of sorts right now. I want to see them communicate a little more. They're looking a little flat. Communication's not exactly there. I want to see them get that back together.
And you said it, the injustices of our sport, right? No timeouts, and infractions seem to be measured on a higher level than other sports. But, man, the timeout would be a welcome addition for most coaches, even for momentum's sake. But there have been some rule changes now, too, as well, with injuries. We talked about it as far as guys getting tended to when you stop the clock. There's a real nice through ball. Looks like they're staying onside. And a nice cross to the middle. Intended for, when shot wide, it looked like it was Raymond Zavala just getting a little touch on it on the instep, but driving it in the wrong direction for the senior forward.
Yeah, and it looks like he didn't have his feet completely underneath him, and it looked like Elian Uyoa was making that drive there, and he did the old Maverick and Goose from Top Gun. I'm gonna hit the brakes and watch him go right by, and he had that nice cutback move, finding Zavala up at the top there, and he just couldn't find that right-hand corner.
No, it was a good look, though, as Pineda had driven that down into the corner. And Zavala, one of the guys that Coach Cohen said, he calls him my son. And he said that when he was a little kid, he had a picture of him. This was a little chubby version of Raymond Zavala. And he said the look in his eye then, you just knew. The eyes never changed. The physique changed. He grew into his own. And he said that when he is mentally in the game and just feeling good about himself, he is a force to be reckoned with.
And we saw that last year, right? We saw it all through those playoffs last year where, they had the overtime win against Oceanside in the last moments, and they had the double overtime thriller against Syosset. Last year they stormed through the playoffs, eventually losing to East Meadow, who won the conference and the county.
And those playoffs that were brought to us by Orland and Cohen, who are doing it again this year, the highest viewed game by far was that Uniondale-Syosset game. And, something that you still go back and watch. Gene kicking that one out.
If we had a Nassau Soccer YouTube page or something like that in partnership with Varsity Media, it would definitely be on the Instant Classics channel.
Without a doubt. And again, the highest viewed, courtesy of Chris Sweeney giving me those numbers. And Orland and Cohen making those playoffs happen again for us this year, and we're not too far away, as these are the last 2 days of our season.
Yeah, playing games start on Saturday, and I think we'll have some playing games for conference or Class AA. It looks like we might have a couple.
Yeah, a little bit of a conversation on that earlier. Trips are still figuring things out too, but the AA's not the cleanest of the groups. And there's a nice shoulder-to-shoulder and pushed through nicely by Angel Rodriguez with nobody there. And the counter now, Massapequa strip, nice little pickpocket there. And we're going to get a foul as Andrew Madrid went in a little too strong. Madrid, the defensive back senior, he had a concussion and is back in play. Coach said he's the quarterback of that Uniondale defense. Free kick. Massapequa sends it in deep. It looks like it might have been intended for Marcello Batista.
There was an audacious bicycle kick attempt there, too, that got snuffed out.
Uniondale trying to set up that through again, but a little too many touches there as the Massapequa defense resets. Carlos Palacios on the field wearing number 16 for Uniondale. And I'll tell you another thing that's a little different with this Chiefs team. Sophomore Marcello Batista starting up top. They've got some young guys up here. You know, Travis Gill is only a freshman and a couple juniors on the team. So they are a young team. There's a future here.
Anytime you can start some youth players, it'll help you just build for the seasons to come. And, you know, we've seen teams in the past graduate 13, 14 seniors. Next thing you know, the following year they have a down season. You know, having that good mix of players will help you really just build a program.
And there certainly is a bright future, again, for this team. And a good mix this year with the seniors on the field. And they are veterans, mostly on that defensive side of things. Fiorentino, the senior keeper, and then Anderson, D'Amico, Konstantinakos, Bowden, all seniors.
And these are seniors who have enjoyed some level of success, right? They were in the playoffs last year, lost to Plainview at Bethpage in the semifinals. And Matt Burke knows what it means to win. In 2020, he was the county champ. None of these guys were on the team, but he was certainly there. He knows what it takes. So this is a program that, you know, has had some ups and downs in the last few years.
And they're doing their best right now to try to get something going through this center of the field. And this might be the opportunity. Tripped up at midfield. It's it's going to be a foul. So we're going to have a direct kick down there as Paul Puglisi was pulled down, senior midfielder.
And that was number 12, Diego Mejia, with that foul. Nope. Diego Mejia with that foul. He's trying to catch ball, but he caught all leg on that one. And now Nelson Cohen has a decision to make with Mr. Mejia. You know, red cards carry over. So if he gets a second yellow and catches a red, he cannot play in their playoff game. So do you sit him the whole game or do you put him back in?
That one put on net, bobbled by Gene. A good little follow-up there.
But there was an offside call, so no matter what would have happened, I think it would have.
And you can see they're trying to figure out things down there. But one of the things you like to see of Puglisi is that, you know, he did follow up, and something you always beg your players to do. Back to your question, though. Let's not lose sight. As far as that yellow card, I mean, honestly, I have one voice ringing in my head that says, Coach, sit him down. You're up 1-0. This game is seeding, but you don't want to risk the next one.
Yeah, and the voice that you're talking about is our sage-like mentor, Al Freeman, who is our Obi-Wan Kenobi, our Gandalf. He is our mentor, and he says it all the time. You know, why risk it? You know, the next game is the one that's more important right now for Uniondale. If I'm Massapequa, I risk it because today's a do-or-die situation.
And here's a nice through ball for Uniondale. Zavala with a nifty move to his right, to his left. He's going to take the shot with his left. A nice save there by Fiorentino. But Zavala, some nice moves down low.
Yeah, that's that great technical work that he can do down there. You know, gives defenses fits, and that's why he's one of those underrated players. And there's the picture-in-picture replay. You know, there's the initial cut back again. You know, tries to play it left. A great move out of Fiorentino. Got to give him all the credit in the world for making that save.
Yeah, recognizing that he was going to the left, cutting off the angle, and a good job there. But that's the Zavala. That is the dangerous Zavala. Can go to both feet. So we'll see if he can get a little more moxie, keep that energy going. They'd love nothing more than that 2-0 lead. But here comes Massapequa with the Chiefs. That play's broken up.
Yeah, it was a great block, getting the body in front of the ball right there. but it looked like Andrew Madrid. A little tough to see these numbers, these yellow on the white numbers here up in our booth from our high vantage point in this broadcast box here at Massapequa Stadium.
I'm glad you said it. Yep, it's not been easy, but we can see number 7 here, Caden Bowen, taking that throw. And it looks like they're going to get another shot. Yeah, and I believe you're right. It was Madrid. Madrid, one of the larger guys back on that Uniondale defense. Uniondale breaking that one up again. So right now the Chiefs just having a hard time connecting passes when they're down in the offensive zone. They've been doing a nice job getting it wide, just aren't finding the crosses.
Right, and this is where we talked about at the top of the broadcast, Rob, where they have these two different contrasting styles, right? Where Uniondale has this pass and move into the space, this tiki-taka Brazil style of play. Massapequa has more of this, I hate to, bring it down to a dump and chase style, but it is more of a play the ball over the top and beat you with your speed style of soccer. So it is two different contrasting styles, and what you're really hoping for in this Massapequa style is you're hoping for a center back to make a mistake, which is a big gamble.
Yeah, and you were just hoping right there. I think Joe Mondello was hoping that, but he was caught offside. Mondello is one of the juniors, and Coach Burke did say he's got a rocket ship of a shot, so just a little bit offside. You don't want to get jumpy on those either. Little pushing and shoving down there between Chris Mueller and one of the Uniondale players.
And I want to talk about this work that Marcello Batista's putting in here. And, you see him number 30 out there. He's to be honest, he's the smallest guy on the field. But what he makes up for in size, he brings a lot of technical proficiency. He knows how to use his body well. And as we just saw in that last play, he is reckless going into balls. He just throws his body out there. I love seeing that out of a young player like him.
Yeah, but just putting your head down and getting involved, and that fearlessness definitely translates in every aspect of his game and turns him into a two-way threat as well.
Yeah, and for an opposing team, that's something that would, take me by surprise a little bit. You see a little guy going in there and coming at you like a whirling dervish. You don't expect it.
D'Amico getting caught a little flat-footed, and a breakaway now picked up really nicely by Caden Bowen, getting back there and moving the ball out of play. So the second-year starter who takes those risks got back in time. And there's a look at it, Brian, down low. Beats the keeper, and then all of a sudden Bowen just sneaking in on the left side and clearing that ball out.
Yeah, that's called protecting your keeper right there, Rob, and that's what you want to see. That's, total team stepping up in a big situation, because if Uniondale scores that, this game is just done. That's just like a psychic kick in the head here for Massapequa.
It shows you, though, Bowen's got that first step, just that quick step, because that was nothing but turf in front, and then out of nowhere he manages to make that move. And that's when you don't mind a guy just kicking it out of bounds. Sometimes it drives me nuts. Keep it on the field. But in that instance, no problem. Slow play, kick it out of bounds.
Yeah, and Fiorentino played it right. He did what he had to do. He just got beat. It's just that simple.
A nice play and a through ball there, but offside and right in position. Referee Randy Geyer on the 45.
And these Uniondale guys are getting real hungry looking at these.
They are.
And, in order to play that offside trap with D'Amico and Bowen and Konstantikanos, they have to have really good chemistry. You have to know when to step at the right time. Everyone has to be on the same line, because if one guy's off, you're holding somebody on. And if you're holding somebody on, in other words, if there's one guy dropped back from the main line and you have your offensive player a little offset, you could be giving up 5 to 10 yards. So everyone has to be in lockstep. You don't have that, and this offside trap that they're trying to play is just not going to work.
You said it, a whole bunch of communication, and they've been doing it well so far. And even if there was a lack of cleaning up the mess, or both of those center backs are doing a really good job out there. And
we got a handball situation. It's going to be Massapequa kick.
I was just doing a check. I don't see Luke Anderson, so you don't know if his day's done. But they have lost one of their center backs, and in a great position here now for the free kick. And that one's going to fly wide. And how about, look at those ball boys. They are incredible, huh?
Those are sharp-looking uniforms, very much looking like Roma, right? The Italian League Roma side. They're real sharp-looking.
And if you watch them chase it, it kind of looks like the outfield in the All-Star game, like the baseball, when the kids are out there. They're just like waiting for the ball, and they're all chasing it down. Good job by the youth league here. Something Massapequa certainly prides himself on is community and bringing these kids up. Talk to Coach Burke. They grew up playing soccer together and very proud to wear their navy blue. Whoa, a little.
That's a great push there by Van Cura, just getting up in Harley Jean's face. You know, getting in there, making him panic a little bit. You know, a little ball played out. Right, just push that back line a little bit.
And that's what Coach said about him. He said, creates chaos. Vancouver is the guy. And a junior.
And then you saw, right, there's a misplaced ball, throw in now from Massapequa. But what I'd like to see out of Massapequa is the next time they have one of these kicks from about the 30 in, just put the ball down and play quick, right? The last couple of ones that they have, they put the ball down and they had this elaborate set piece. He was off by about 5 yards. They had this elaborate set piece. Instead of just sitting and wasting time, just put the ball down and play quick, and maybe you can catch Uniondale with their backs turned and make something happen.
And that they are doing, especially when you got a Uniondale team, like you said, that's starting to chomp at the bit up top. And you can start to see that now as XR Quijada was the one that was offside. So even though this Massapequa defense has been doing well, oh, that one would have been onside. They're, making it a little easier for them by going offside. This one's chipped up. Floater. Konstantinakos bringing it down and clearing it back out.
And one of the things, if you're really paying attention out there, you'll notice is that Uniondale has shifted their formation a little bit. They moved Zavala up top. They're playing two strikers now instead of their one. So this is something that Coach Nelson likes to do. He likes to come out in one formation, switch it up mid-game, not even at halftime, just like the middle of a half, and just keep messing with things and changing things up. And now they go to like more of a 4-3-3 offense and just make the defense move around.
Well, when you talk to him on the phone, he's like, we do a double 10, we'll do a double 6. So definitely unconventional. I think I also told you, he pours the water on the floor. And he said, this is how we move. We're not going to commit to one shape where we're fluid. We kind of work with the game. And that doesn't work with every team. Some teams need the structure, and we've seen it. I think Massapequa's a structure team. They want to try to build a little differently with the fluidity of a game, and the allowances to do what they feel creatively is more of a Uniondale style.
Yeah, it certainly, I think, Rob, it speaks to the high IQ of these Uniondale players that they can do that, right? Where some guys say, oh, listen, this is my position. I have to play in this area. This is what I'm comfortable with. Having guys that can play anywhere on the field is a luxury.
So Mueller took that throw and tried getting it in, but again, just a quick recovery by Uniondale. And Massapequa having a tough time getting through this defense. Some good pressure there by Christian Lopez. And that's somebody Massapequa would love to get going right now is their junior, Christian Lopez. He's a guy that's 80 minutes a game and definitely likes to get involved in the attack. Coach said he's got a great work rate, can use both feet. So hopefully Lopez can get something going. But he hasn't really touched the ball too much. Him and Velez been pretty much stifled by this Uniondale team. So it's going to be a free kick here for the Uniondale Knights. We've got about 11 minutes remaining in the first half. Sun is not going to be peeking out anywhere. It already feels like it's getting dark, but mostly because of the overcast. And back the other way now, trying to start something. Here comes Massapequa. And we got a shoulder-to-shoulder, but they're going to say that it's a foul.
It's going to be a dangerous position here for Massapequa, right? You're going to have Jeremy Velez on the ball, right? And this is all carry here, right here for number 17 from Massapequa. Take it all the way down, make them foul you. If you can try and turn the corner, you can. If not, now we got Jeremy Velez here on what is essentially a corner kick, and let's see what they can cook up.
So it is Velez. We'll see if he tries to go on the net. He's in a great position. He's got a big goalie in there, and Gene, he takes up a lot of space. They're pretty spread out. My guess is maybe a far post run.
Right, he's going to have this in-swinger ball with that right foot.
And the header, but it goes nowhere. Picked back up, and the shot on net just wide. So a nice pick up there by Velez. And coach calls him the maestro. He was an All-County honorable mention last year, 3-year starter. Just missed it there. Called him a set-piece wizard. It was a good ball, but a Uniondale defender in the way.
In for the Chiefs, number 12, Patrick Zavala, and number 20, Alexandra Gonzalez.
So it's going to be played out of the back now, Uniondale. And another thing that Coach Nelson Cohen was telling me is that they don't take many kicks. They like to play it out of the back and use their skill. So you won't see too many goal kicks.
No, but what's great about Harley Jean is that he has the ability to get that ball up the field real quick with his foot. Even though they don't do it, they can.
And here we come back the other way. Through ball, Gene picks it up. And now Uniondale back the other way. Good placement of the ball there. A little touch and turn. And broken up there by the Massapequa defender, Joe D'Amico.
And that was all started off the foot of who? Raymond Zavala. Getting that ball in there and getting some nice movement.
So they're going to get that throw in now, and we'll see if Uniondale could try to bring some pressure up there. As we just check in on some roster decisions. And number 17, the aforementioned forward on Massapequa was Dante Squadrito. And a nice slide tackle there, but a recovery. What a good job there by Vancouver just to hop back up to his feet, but broken up, and now Angel Rodriguez gets pickpocketed. So Massapequa putting their best foot forward, and now that through ball is sent up to Velasquez. Velasquez using the field, a nice through, but broken up by the defense.
And Vancouver down there was just saying to his team, I'll carry you guys right now. He was putting in a lot of work. Love the hustle, love the grittiness.
Just the fact that it was a clean slide tackle. He bounced right back up, had his eye on the ball. And, you know, it's you don't want to call it a sense of urgency, but Massapequa needs to just start getting some shots and some pressure shots. Here's a nice through ball touch there by Vancouver, and Gene breaks it up.
And we're going to have another throw in here from Massapequa.
There he is again. Vancouver is just, again, the chaos master up top. And Coach said that he follows up every shot. He likes to challenge the keeper, and you've seen it. He is definitely the pulse of this Massapequa offense right now. Costin Tanaco's taking the throw. Looking for the flick, but over the head of the intended. And now Uniondale, play slowed up a little bit. D'Amico plays it back to his keeper and sent back out.
It was a good job out of that Massapequa defense. They don't stop that ball, and Uniondale is off to the races, 3-on-1 against that keeper.
And here we go, through ball, looked for Vancouver, but just out of reach, and a roll to Gene, but that was the right idea.
Yeah, they are right there, Massapequa. It's pretty much there. And we're going to have a stoppage here because Harley Jean's shoes are untied. But Massapequa is right there, right? It's just improved the quality by about 10%, and they're on the goal. You know, the ball is finding the foot of Vancouver. It's right there.
It is right there, and we're right here. Varsity Media Sports Network, folks, don't forget. And Varsity Media is not only bringing you some great football on the soccer pitch, but some great football otherwise, and it's going to be Massapequa and Farmingdale, the crosstown rivalry at 1 o'clock and at 1:30, St. Anthony's and Chaminade. But for you Massapequa fans, Farmingdale, Massapequa, I mean, you know, both communities just love each other so much, but we'll see that football game. Here's Uniondale right now, though, in the mix, and an opportunity here. Too many touches, perhaps, for Zavala. It is if Fiorentino picks it up, but...
And you got to give all the credit on that defensive effort from Joe D'Amico, right? He got beat. He recovered, laid his body out there, which caused that bad shot or that deflected shot, which helped Fiorentino bring that ball down.
Oh, you know. Hard tackle there as Massapequa was going to pick it up. But how about the coverage of that football game? You going to be tuning in, Brian, 1 o'clock?
1 o'clock Saturday?
Not a big football guy, but, I mean, Massapequa, Farmingdale.
I mean, there was that one kid on Farmingdale who's just setting all those records I wanted to check out.
Wrong broadcast, buddy. You're not supposed to say that on...
I'm just saying, Josh Kama is setting all these kinds of records. I want to check him out, but I will not. I might go up to the Oyster Fest.
Oh.
This weekend.
There you go.
I might relax at home, have a little quality times with the fam.
There you go.
Or I might be checking out the playing games.
Or if you're home, you could check in on the Varsity Media Sports Network and just check the score once in a while.
Or I could go to the playing games while watching Varsity Media, as they are mobile-friendly on the YouTube.
There you go. Like us now on Instagram. And again, all the play. There it is. Little thumbs up. Ring the bell. Subscribe and get your alerts. And again, the playoffs, all the semifinals and the finals in Nassau County are going to be here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Can't go wrong. Lots of soccer now. And this one here, Massapequa Uniondale, 1-0 in favor of the Knights. Little under 4 minutes remaining in this first half.
Or, as my wife is texting me, I'll be going antiquing.
Oh. Is that right?
Yes.
At Al Freeman's house? And that one sent deep, broken up out of the back by Peter Konstantinakos. A nifty move there. Touch and turn, Kelvin Martinez. There's Vancouver. I got to tell you, he is the Energizer Bunny. He's just having a hard time settle the ball down. Sometimes I think his feet move faster than... Shot there by Gene, and wow, that one was out of nowhere. But I'll be honest with you, the product of Vancouver's press, I mean, he is just an animal up there. He doesn't stop.
He really is. He's been very impressive. Right, it was a nice shot. Listen, it was a good shot. You know, I don't mind taking that shot. You got to start putting some shots here on Harley Jean. Make them work. You don't want to let him get too comfortable back there, right? But all the hype in this game for me coming in has been about Zavala and Velez, but Vancouver has really, really been impressing me today.
I think he's standing out the most on the field, to be quite honest with you. As far as work rate goes, there's second to none at the moment. So it might be a matter of time whether he's involved in the scoring or trying to create chaos to create the scoring. He's been doing his job. And that one's put back the other way to Konstantinakos. And knocked down on the play was Marcelo Batista. And that is now going to put the aforementioned Jeremy Velez over the ball in a great position.
Now, this is a ball I can see him going right on the goal with.
And that one low corner, way off the mark. The idea was not necessarily a bad one, but it looked like his team wasn't ready either for the late run. So I'm assuming that was meant to be on net.
I think watching that and in my coach's head, that was supposed to be on net. He, you know, this is one of those situations where you don't have to wait for the official's whistle. So just take it as quickly as you can. Uniondale's still trying to set up their wall, trying to get settled. You know, Harley Jean is trying to set that up, and he's not paying attention. Take it quick, hit that back corner. He just didn't have his feet under him to get a good connection.
But I don't know that your offense was all that ready either, because Batista had like a little bit of a late run that if that ball is off the mark, might have been able to get a touch. That one's put out in front. Fiorentino bobbles but recovers as there's a little pressure down on him. Not a ton of action for him since that goal. His defense doing a really good job shielding and making sure that the shots are low quality. And there is a 3 going to be offside. All right, you were wondering there. And it looked like 3 of them were offside. And referee Geyer is going to have it put down on the 35. Ooh. And that was a long ball. Looks like it's going to roll out. And a nice job by Massapequa to keep it in. Velez sends it through the mouth. Oh, my goodness. Right past Puglisi.
And Batista was sitting right there, too.
Oh, take a look at that. Puglisi
right
first shot, Batista the next. Went through everybody. And now bouncing around the header. What a defensive play.
And Massapequa is screaming that that header was inside the net. But referee Engin Suvak was right there on the line. He had it marked the whole way.
Everybody froze. Let's take a look here. And the ball goes in. It's a nice header, but no siree. He got out in front of it. So Angel Rodriguez with the save, put it on there.
He was in the goal, the ball wasn't, and that's all that counts.
That's all that counts. A great defensive play there by Rodriguez. And this is the one that got the tally across. It's a laser beam of a shot from Joshua Martinez at the 31-16 minute mark. And it's going to be a short half. So we're going to be back on the Varsity Media Sports Network after a little bit of a break. 1-0 Uniondale. We'll see you in a little bit.
Hey parents, coaches, and players. Ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
If you're looking to optimize your sporting event, look no further than Varsity Media's coverage. Since working with them over the course of the past 4 years through the Elite 5 New York City Football Showcase, their coverage has helped take us to the top.
Varsity Media does an unbelievable job in terms of the broadcast, backgrounds on kids, do a great job in exposure from top to bottom. I couldn't really say anything negative. It's been a great couple of years that we've been working together, and it's just fantastic.
Well, I'll tell you, the fact that you guys are here has helped grow it, really. I mean, Varsity Media's been a good partner with us now for the last couple of years. That brings this game to a much broader audience.
The level of detail and that you go to, I mean, obviously the announcers, the camera angles, the slow motions, I mean, you feel like it's being covered by, ESPN.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
And there we are, the two coaches, waxing poetic. Matt Burke on his side, giving the Chiefs a little bit of inspirational talk, trying to get them ready in a short amount of time. And there's the calm and cool Nelson Cohen talking to his troops as they go for an abbreviated halftime, mostly because of daylight and time. But we've got a lot going on, and a lot going on from our sponsors making today's game possible. Lifestyle Sports has been a huge supporter of us every single regular season game and playoff games, including South Shore Summer League donations. Massapequa Booster Club, can't say enough about them. They made this thing happen, and it was great communicating with them and all the help that they got. And they want us to shout out the Schwartz Institute, Physical Therapy, and Sports Performance. But, again, Brian, the booster clubs have played a really big role in making some of these broadcasts happen this year. Massapequa, just coming together as a community, making this thing happen. Coach Burke said, I want to get this game with Uniondale. It's important to him to have Uniondale be the game that's televised. So a big thank you to the Booster Club for making this happen here today. And we've got a lot going on, right? Lifestyle Sports is also going to be helping host some of these games. But take a look here. We got girls soccer, Hills East and East Islip. We're going to be in Section 11, Suffolk County, on the 15th at 4:30. And then some more football as the Floral Park Knights take on the Southside Cyclones. Another little crosstown rivalry there. And, of course, the biggest rivalry in the doubleheader, going on. Massapequa versus Farmingdale at 1 p.m. this Saturday, and St. Anthony's versus Chaminade. So whether you are in the Catholic school rivalry zone or the Nassau County, Eastern Nassau County battle, Farmingdale and Massapequa. And again, you can't emphasize that rivalry anymore. I don't know too many communities that go head-to-head like those two. But it's going to be a great football game. And we're back to this football game. 1-0 Uniondale. What are you saying, Brian? If you're on the, let's go Massapequa side, right? What is Coach Burke saying? This game, not a ton of implications, but it matters.
No, for Massapequa, again, we said this whole day, Rob, it's a must-win for Massapequa. And if I'm Coach Matt Burke, I'm telling my guys, we have to come out, we have to start fast. We have to put goals in fast, because the last thing you want to do is have this game end with us down because of darkness, right? You want to get some points up on the board. Number two, I say to my team, we need to start attacking with numbers. We can't keep sending Vancouver up there by himself. We need some more attacking options. So we need Christian Lopez coming up on the left. We need Holden Chico coming up on the right. We need to have Jeremy Velez coming up on these late runs. Maybe send Mondello in there. We need to have more than just one guy going in there. I need to keep having this defense hold it down. Their offside trap is working real well. But it has to be all about numbers now. A tie doesn't help you. A loss doesn't help you. It's about a win.
And on the other side.
And for Uniondale, put this game away right now. First 10 minutes of this half, put this game away. If you put one in now in the first 5 to 10 minutes, I think Massapequa just might be so drained that the game's going to be over. But what they have to do is they have to stop getting caught off sides. So instead of running straight, start making some diagonal runs, right? We call them Nike swoosh runs on my field, right? Run like the shape of the Nike swoosh.
That's it. Try to get a little more creative up top, and they certainly are capable of that. And for Massapequa, it's going to be continue that press, and it's got to be more than Vancouver. This throw in here, and it's dropped in Puglisi, and he makes a couple of moves and then coughs it up, but it's going to be a throw in. Last touch. Nope. Correction. It's going to be last touch. Massapequa Uniondale throw. So a quick little reset, and it's going to be Marlon Velasquez, the football kicker, going to be throwing that ball in. A little bit of a battle there, but nothing called, and that ball is put through, and we've got a breakaway opportunity here for Zavala. Zavala finishes it up. No surprise. He gets a lot of space and time. Exactly what you said, Brian, that trap can bite you, and Zavala waited just in time and finished that one off.
Yeah, and, that was a great piece of effort out of him, right? He had the space, and watch how he uses his body here to get in front of that defense who he knew was charging in. Little right-footed, little squeaker there right past the goalie. Good job out of him.
And if you are paying attention at home, that is a high level. Looks like he had nothing but space, but as D'Amico started to calm down, you said it. He used his body as a shield to make sure that he had that shot. If he had continued the trajectory that he was going on, D'Amico might have gotten away.
Yeah, and that's an experienced player. That's a senior-level player right there. And that's why I've said he's one of the best in the county. Super underrated player, and that brings him up to 10 goals for the season.
Absolutely incredible. So Martinez with the first tally, the second one Zavala, and Uniondale wants to certainly get another one quickly. They put 3 down, and this is going to be a mountain. A good through ball there, just missing. Zavala is going to be an offside call.
And here we got Zavala in again.
And Zavala takes that shot. A nice kick save by Fiorentino, and that's a massive save in this game because 3-0 could be a backbreaker. And the Knights just keep putting on the pressure. That ball through Zavala all alone, onside, makes a nice move, gets it back out, intended target Martinez, but it kicks out, and that one just wide. A nice save by Fiorentino, and that one came out of nowhere. Man, the Knights piling on. Take a look at that one. Just getting the fingertips on it, and it looked like a fairly inane shot. It didn't look like it was going to even be on net.
And we got a corner coming up here for Uniondale. And now this is I think, in this quicksand territory, I think, for Massapequa. You know, they need something big here. They need a quick release on this ball. They need to get it out and up the field fast.
And that one sent deep, looking for the header, but broken up there by Massapequa. And it feels like after that second Zavala goal, Uniondale's just kind of kicked it up another level. So there's a lot of time left in this game, 2-0 in favor of the Knights. Again, Martinez with the first goal. Joshua Martinez about 5 minutes in. That shot, Zavala, the second effort, and it goes wide. He is just absolutely, he's got the taste now.
He does. He's feeling it, and you know he's gonna jump on those bad balls out of the back like that one from Fiorentino. You know, you can't allow a player of that caliber, that kind of room, and that kind of space, and you know, you can't give him those little tastes like that.
No, and you can't give him the second effort on top of it. I mean, he got the initial shot, but the second effort just chipped off the top of the laces and deflected. And Massapequa having a hard time now getting over the 50. Good ball there.
That's Patrick Azara who's checked in here for the second half.
So that last one intended for Uloa. And now Massapequa trying to get it through, but not much pressure up top right now, as it's Joe Mondello all by himself.
You know, I talked to Jeremy Velez before the game about their mindset coming in, and his answer was essentially the same as the answer when I asked him about their 5-game losing streak and how they snapped out of it. And he says it's just about a total team effort. It's about everybody being on the same page and everybody hustling and grinding out there together. They need that right now.
They certainly do, and right there, shielding and doing a good job of keeping Marlon Velasquez out of there. But again, you see Zavala is just, you know, salivating. He's got that goal, and they're giving him way too much space. And maybe now paying a little bit more attention. Alberto Pineda as well, trying to hold up on that line so they don't get pulled offside. This one sent down to Gene. He's going to play it. That's a dangerous, dangerous couple of passes back there. And as much as Uniondale's good at playing the ball out of the backfield, you don't want to get too cocky with it.
Right, and this is now where they have to push some numbers. Right, we have to start playing quality balls. We can't rush. We have to take a breath and not panic. Right? Yes, the clock is ticking. Yes, we're down 2. Darkness is creeping in, both literally and metaphorically. Right? But we have to stay within ourselves, and we have to start playing our game. We cannot panic out here for Massapequa.
No, you saw that, and even right there, D'Amico had a nice eye on Velez and just overshot him on that pass, or else something might have been brewing. And you saw Velez head drop. Broken up by D'Amico, not the way he wanted to. Tough touch, and it starts to spin out. And now it's a possession game a little bit. Zavala passes it back. A lot of touches now out of this Uniondale team. And now we've got some pace as Lopez heads down, slide tackle. So Calvin Martinez now has the foot on the ball, and he's finally going to try to get it out, but a nice job breaking it up. And we've got a man down on the play, and it might be a head injury. And quickly, Coach Nelson Cohen out there checking on the opposition. And now Coach Burke out there. And
I think, unfortunately, that was team to team.
Yeah, so while the trainer takes care of things there, we're going to take a break and see what happens. But, folks, don't forget, you're watching all the action here on the Varsity Media Sports Network, and we're going to be back in a little bit.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
It's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only...
So after that, Uniondale, the Uniondale free kick, drop ball there, after the injury, and Brian, 2 injuries now that have affected this Massapequa team, and 2 big ones, so...
Yeah, we saw coming out of that halftime huddle, Luke Anderson, basically one foot hopping back to the bench, and now looks like Puglisi is getting treated on the sideline. I think it was an elbow from his own player on that one last ball.
Nice job there by Fiorentino, breaking up that play as Zavala was making another run at it. But you said it, so with the head injury, no matter what, I'll assume Puglisi might be done. They don't like to take risks, so we'll monitor the situation. But Anderson coming in with an ankle injury, and unfortunate for him because he was working through it. And now here comes Massapequa Vancouver, no doubt about it, as usual.
That was a nice flick from Velez there to find Vancouver. And great defensive effort from Uniondale getting that ball out, and that's just all they're going to do is run some more time off the clock.
So just to finish the Anderson came in with the ankle injury, played 3 games, came back trying to nurse that thing. And this might wrap it up for the senior. He is a wrestler, so he's got another season to worry about. But, we hope that Puglisi and Anderson both get better soon. And they're going to be rooting on their team to try to make a comeback here against Uniondale. Massapequa's had a few shots since.
Yeah, and it was a nice open look from Vancouver. He just overcooked it a little bit, but he was open and he was on net there.
Now, is this one of the examples of maybe trying to do too much?
I think he came in a little too hot. He was jumping in the air. The ball was coming up. It's tough to get your foot on that. That's the kind of thing that you would see in like the Premier League.
And how about this foot race here? Heavy touch and sliding out. Fiorentino, it's going to roll in the net right afterwards. It was a heck of an effort there as Zavala scores his second goal of the game. What looked like a heavy touch just became a little bit of a slip past Fiorentino. And Coach, I thought it was going wide. Take a look here.
I did too.
Heavy touch and puts it through, and it just follows through. That wasn't even a shot.
Yeah, that was just let me try and ricochet off the keeper, bouncing right off of Fiorentina, rolling over. Goal number 2 for Raymond Zavala today. He's got his brace, and that brings him up to 11 on the season.
So Zavala showing that burst of speed, and Massapequa has done a really great job of getting in front of him that time. Couldn't do it, and again, not even a shot, but the last touch gets past Fiorentino, who's had a heck of a game. I mean, you got to tip your hat to the way Phillip has been playing, the senior, making some big saves, and that one was a tough one. So a 3-goal lead with 30 minutes left. That one's centered. Gene's going to make the save. So again, October 14th. And the AAAs are wrapping it up today. And this game has some seeding implications for Uniondale, who can get up to 8-3-2, 8 wins on the season, moving them up in the seeding. And unless Massapequa can change things, they will wind up 4-7-2. We've got tomorrow. It's going to be some of the double A's. They're going to end their seasons. The singles and the trips finishing up today. I believe the B's play tomorrow as well.
Yes, sir.
Here comes Zavala. Sends it across. Fiorentino's going to take that one himself. So everything will wrap up tomorrow here in Nassau County. And then the seating committee will sit down, decide on play-in games, play-off games.
And you can check out all of the brackets that will be released Thursday night on the Nassau Soccer Instagram page.
There you go.
Releasing those live at some point, probably around 8:30, 9 o'clock on Thursday night.
And are they given to you directly?
They'll be texting them to me as they come out.
There
We
you
already
go.
have the Bees are done. We have Cold Spring Harbor's playing Evergreen Charter at 6 o'clock at Farmingdale State College on the 24th, followed by Oyster Bay and Carl Place in their annual showdown.
And here's a showdown. What a shot there and a save by Fiorentino. He continues to make those super athletic, acrobatic plays. And he is having some game today. So, again, Uniondale right now sitting in 4th place. They've got 23 points on the season. They are knotted up with Farmingdale, and in front of them, Port Washington, Syosset, and the leader of the pack, Oceanside. So everything will wrap up today. And when you talk about the AAAs, I mean, there are some great teams up here. Here's Massapequa trying to make a run. D'Amico sends that ball through. A shot on net and a good one, Velez, but knocked down by Gene, and he'll recover. But the AAAs, Brian, are a pretty packed conference. I mean, they've been duking it out all year. Oceanside has been the one to rise. Zavala trying to get in there, but some good battle with Constantinakos.
No, and Rob, to your point, and speaking of the parity in the AAA, 6 different teams were at the top spot in the AAAs this year. You know, I think that really speaks to, number one, the level of competition and how good they are, and number two, the parity of the league.
And some teams, like, Port Washington, a heck of a run this year for Port that I think caught some people off guard, everybody except the people in Port Washington.
And me. They've been my dark horse team all season.
All right. You heard it, Brian Donahue, dark horse.
I've had them in the AAA semifinals all year. I have a feeling they'll be there. They are a dangerous team. I saw them play this Uniondale team not too long ago. They're a dangerous team. They played to a 0-0 draw until about the last 2 minutes when Uniondale snuck one in there at the end.
And I think another team that might not have caught you off guard, but a lot of people were surprised, was Herrick's.
Absolutely. And I talk about this all the time, Coach Adriana De Medeiros, what a reclamation project she has over there. They went 4 years without a win. And now all of a sudden they're creeping back into it. They're looking kind of dangerous here heading into the playoffs. Very talented kids up there and a great group of guys. I played them last year in their senior game. Really nice group of kids up there, and I love what they have going on up there in Herrick's.
So with another injury on the field, we are going to take another timeout here. We'll come back, talk to you more about the AAA standings and the playoff implications. You're watching it here on the Varsity Media Sports Network, and we'll be back.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is 75,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Now's your chance to score a touchdown with Varsity Media's ISO video. Video footage that focuses on your athlete only. Perfect for recruiting reels. Spots are limited, so reach out today. Email jeff@varsitymedia.net to book your next ISO video with Varsity Media.
And we are back here on the Varsity Media Sports Network after that brief injury timeout. And it was one of the Uniondale players going down this time, and it looked like just a little stretching going on the field, maybe nothing too serious. It's Angel Rodriguez, and he'll take a seat. And Uniondale, again, leading by a score of 3-0 here with 26.5 minutes remaining in the second half.
And if Massapequa has any chance of a comeback here, everything they have to do has to be fast. Right? I don't think you can wait for your typical throw-in guys. I think you just get the ball and play, and you do everything fast. Right? Because at this point, just like they say in the Bear, every second counts.
That ball booted out and played back in. I don't know if it was intended to be a shot or not, but now Zavala with a little bit of space. This stays in. It's going to be trouble, and it does. Giving chase, Caden Bowen. Zavala's got space. He's going to chip it in and call it a hat trick for Zavala. 4-0. And Zavala was wide open on that counter, and Bowen couldn't catch up to him. That was a mismatch.
Yep, that was a mismatch. And all the credit in the world to him for keeping that ball in, right, and then making that move, going out to his right, making the goalie come out, and just what a technical chip shot he made right there to get that ball over Fiorentino.
And you said it, Brian. I mean, honestly, and even watching it, I think the most impressive play was him keeping that ball on the field. Took a big hop, controlled it, and then he knew exactly where he wanted to go with it. And by the time Bowen figured out that it was staying on the field, he had no chance.
Yeah, and I think, unfortunately, that might have been the final nail in the proverbial coffin here of Massapequa's season. Great effort and great job out of these guys, trying to overcome a lot.
And I'll tell you, it was well played by Fiorentino. I mean, he didn't have a shot. He went out there and slid the right way, and they got the handout, but not enough. So now it's going to be Massapequa. Jeremy Velez over the ball. He's in good position here as it gets darker and darker in Massapequa. Gene set up intending to go 1v1 here, and that's probably what we're going to see out of Velez. He cues it up, and the shot is off ahead and bounces wide, and it was off of a Massapequa player, so it's going to be a goal kick.
And this is where we just, as Uniondale, let's just take all of our time. Oh, no, we got a corner kick. That was read wrong by all of us.
Oh, well, was it read wrong by us or pointed wrong? I don't know.
Maybe a little both.
A little bit of both.
The refs are never wrong. It's on us.
Oh, 100%. And Velez now, the benefactor. He sends it in the box. It bounces around. The follow-up shot smoked wide as Bowen tried to come in and clean up the mess.
And now if you're Massapequa, now you just push guys up. You know this ball's going short, right? So just push guys up. And Harley Jean is going to be smart keeper. Give me back the other ball. I don't like this one. This ball is a little too dirty for me. Too many scuff marks. Give me the new ball. Just, tick those seconds down. Now push somebody up here. I know you can only go a certain distance in, but
and there's a heavy touch, and coming back the other way was Christian Lopez, and Lopez still battling in there. He gets the ball up and out of play there. Mondello gets pickpocketed, and now it's Uniondale. Uniondale with a couple of subs on the side, and here's a nice break, trying to make a run. Elian Uloa on the far side.
he picked his pocket. Great move right there. Now let's see if Massapequa can do something here.
Well, and here they come back the other way, but broken up again. A little pushing and shoving down there.
Great defensive effort from number 17 on Uniondale. That is...
We're going to pull him up is what we're going to do here because we're going to have a whole bunch of different substitutions. 17 is Jaden Mejia. And checking in is going to be Diego Mejia, his brother, wearing number 12. And 29 is Luis Argueta. So a couple of guys checking in, and
back in for the Chiefs, number 8, Holden Chico.
Chico back in as well. And here comes Zavala. He's got a full head of steam.
Yeah, there was no way. He was never looking to pass that ball. He had his eyes on goal number 4 the whole way.
He did, and Pineda was making the run with him. Pineda held off the board, but when Zavala's doing his job, I'm sure he doesn't mind.
No, Pineda could have been 20 yards open. Zavala wasn't passing that ball. Now, if you guys who are watching at home, just remember, it looks a lot lighter on your screen. It's because the camera opens the iris and allows more light in. Here on the field, it's much darker. It's much harder to see, especially from where we are in our vantage point at this beautiful Massapequa press box that they have here. It's much darker here. So just keep that in mind that, darkness is definitely a factor here.
I'll look at you with the lens Irish speaking jargon.
I know my way around this tech stuff.
You do. Ron Pierre giving thumbs up. He loves when you talk about the Irish.
The Google Dolls, Iris?
The Google Dolls, absolutely. I don't want the world to see me.
I just don't think that they'd understand.
Because it's getting too dark outside?
It's getting too dark outside.
We'll see what happens with this one. I mean, I'll be honest with you, folks. It's 20 minutes, and they might play this thing out 4-0. We'll see how it goes. There's been a few injuries on the field.
Checking in for the Knights, number 31, Anthony Alvaranga.
So this one sent down deep there by Uniondale. And the through ball there, Zavala's just a step offside. He's going to get called, but again, still out on the field looking to try to bury a fourth one.
He's hungry. He said, Coach, I want to eat, Coach.
And they are putting him in every position to do so. 21 and a half, now about 21 minutes remaining in this one. So Massapequa now trying to build something. Then no quitting this team right now. They are still moving. And that one sent down deep, and a little bit of an overkick down to Travis Gill. Gill, just a freshman. He scored his first goal of the year versus East Meadow. And Coach said he has really developed for a ninth grader. He gets better every single game. So, there's certain guys that you want to see out there. And again, Coach, that's number 26 right there. Take a look at him. Tell me that guy looks like a ninth grader to you.
No, he looks like he has a mortgage and 2 kids. He's got a house with a picket fence and a couple dogs.
There you go, too. I thought he was going to say 3 kids, but yeah, he's a big boy. I mean, honestly, for a ninth grader, it's a nice future. He's got speed, and again, getting his first goal versus East Meadows. So congratulations to Travis. And here's D'Amico up over the ball, the captain. Second-year starter and played in the center last year. He's got speed. He's got size. And Coach said he will move him around depending on the score in the game. So we'll see if he stays back there on defense or they try to get D'Amico up top to break up the shutout.
And we'll have a Massapequa throw.
So not much has changed temperature-wise. 59 degrees. Game started at 60. The only difference, obviously, is daylight. We are heading into a fairly sunny week, and that bodes well for the start of playoffs. Here's Zavala making a run. He's going to keep it on the field. He sends the cross. It's a really good ball. Oh, boy. Heavy touch to the outside. Thought it was going back to Zavala, but broken up. And maintaining possession. Martinez takes a shot. And another beautiful save there by Fiorentino. I mean, honestly, he's got a highlight reel today.
Absolutely. I think that's up to 7 saves, 8 saves for him today. That one's a big one, an important one. And great shot out of, it looks like a busted shot there that they got on top of. Nice move on that ball, on that shot, and all the credit to Fiorentino making that save.
Yeah, Joshua Martinez looking for his second in the game. He would have loved it. Right now, he is the one with the game winner. So we'll see if he can hold on to that. This one sent down the middle. Touch, nice save there by the defense, and the ball pushed back and out of play. The ball boys will collect. So, again, it was Joshua Martinez who opened up the scoring. And then the next 3, Zavala unanswered. 4-0 is where we sit with 18 remaining in the game.
And that sequence right there, that's why you put someone on the back post on those corner kicks to clear that ball off that back line. Great job.
And Massapequa now come back the other way, trying to create something, but it is a mismatch numbers-wise. Starting to push up a little bit on the right-hand side. But unfortunately, whether it's the score of fatigue or just the length of the season, the darkness, the press of Massapequa was slowed down. They were really bringing it for a while, especially Vancouver. They had him getting in there quite a bit, and now it's slowed down. And Declan Stanton in the game. And
I think Uniondale will be content to just keep kicking these balls out. Just let the clock keep running.
yeah, and again, Massapequa, bringing everything they can today. They are down 2 other players with card situations. Coach Burke had mentioned, and, we do want to shout out Mateo Feno-Alteo. He's a senior, unfortunately out with a card, but a 2-year starter, and what is a big offensive producer, a great work rate, big on the 50-50 balls. They're missing him today. They missed Dominic Abrazia, the junior, big and strong and physical, but he'll be back next year, so the junior will be back, but just unfortunately, the Cards playing.
And that's going to be a card here for Jeremy Velez.
Look at that, right on cue.
That's going to be what's called a SPA, stopping a promising attack, grabbing the jersey of Raymond Zavala to stop that attack, and Jeremy Velez will be done for now. See if Matt Burke puts him back in.
Well, in Velez's case, a senior, so no harm, no foul if he does go back in. And again, number 9 checking in. We mentioned the senior Declan Stanton, who's in there, and his mom was a big part of the communication I had with the Booster Club, so we want to thank Miss Stanton. And Declan now getting a shot out on the field. Played short. This one's kicked in, and backing off it was Zavala. So we've got 16 minutes left of game play.
I'll be surprised if they get in those last 16 minutes.
Yeah, I'm starting to figure.
Real dark.
Yeah, it's hard to see numbers now, and
it's hard to see the ball. It kind of reminds me of that Garden City Glen Cove game that was on Varsity Media not too long ago, where they played most of the second half in darkness. They got the whole game in.
I think the implications might have been a little different in that game as far as standings and whatnot. And, I know it was a tilt, right? I believe Garden City won that one pretty big.
Yep. It was a 5-0 game out of Garden City, who looks to be, they're fighting for seeding. They look to be probably the number 1 seed, although Calhoun has a good argument to be the number 1 seed. So does Southside. I think I've called them a 3-headed monster all season between those 3 teams. I think any one of them could be the number 1 seed in the Double A's.
It's been quite the conversation. But, Calhoun, man. Calhoun really had a heck of it. That team came back with, senior heavy, ready to go, banging in goals left and right.
Go Hoon, those are my hometown Calhoun Colts.
Coach Vogel over there doing a heck of a job. And then, of course, Garden City, state champs, doing what they do. So we'll see. It certainly is a lot to talk about in the postseason.
We have an exciting postseason shaping up here in Nassau County. It's going to be the most competitive one that we've had in years. I don't know that there's any clear-cut winner in any conference, whereas last year, it was somewhat fairly predictable in most of the classifications. And this year, I think that it's really wide open in all of them.
Yeah, it certainly is. There's a lot more parity this year, and teams are battling it out. They're getting a lot of work in. We talked about this earlier too. You're starting to see a lot of teams just getting a lot of different things done in the summer and whatnot. Here comes Zavala. Zavala making a few nice moves. He gets tripped up, but he's back up on his feet. Zavala continuing play. He's not coughing that thing up. Left, right, drawing 3 defenders. Finally decides to hit the reset button. And you got to wonder, too, right now, Uniondale obviously still trying to score, but is this where you start telling your guys just dribble it down to the flags, try to pin it, kill the clock? 13 and a half minutes, not much light left.
I think this is a situation where you just put in your bench.
Yeah, Zavala, I would imagine, is going to be off the field soon.
Yeah, I mean, you let your bench guys get in some run, and it's 4-0, 15, 20 minutes left in the game. Massapequa was not doing much. You give your guys some run because you never – this is – I don't know what Uniondale has planned between now and the start of their playoff run. And a lot of teams try to build in some scrimmages. I don't know what Coach has done, Coach Cohen has. But, this could be the last chance for some meaningful run for some of these guys. You want to keep them sharp because they're gonna have a good week and a half off.
And the other thing is, do you want guys out there that could get injured when it's pitch black out?
That's the other. I was just about to say that. This is ripe for injuries.
And Zavala does put that ball through. We got a nice little break, but then broken up there by the Massapequa defense. And that ball gets through. Zavala trying to give chase, but scooped up by Fiorentino.
I mean, the only argument I could see for someone like Zavala to stay out there is if he's trying to chase the Golden Boot in Conference AAA. At sitting right now at 12 goals, he's still 5 back of the leader in AAA, and I believe he's still another 7 or 8 back from the leader in the county. So he's not going to score another 5 goals today. He's not going to score another 7 today. So, maybe think about, putting him on the bench.
Well, again, a lot of time left, 12 minutes. And there is Zavala again. He brings the ball down. Still dancing his way through. Sends the ball out to the right-hand side, and we're going to have to rely on that screen for some numbers now. So Uniondale still moving the ball well and trying to get some things done, but it does look like they're taking more touches now than shots, so maybe they are just trying to move things along and slow things down. That was Johnson Matute who's out there, number 25. So, yeah, there will be some time between now and the first playoff, and then obviously we're going to progress through the weeks, and as we get deeper into the month, we got Farmingdale. Here's a little break picked up by Gene.
Yeah, we got offsides again. I can definitely say that we will be using our cell phone flashlights to get back to the cars.
Yeah, we continue play here, and again, 10 minutes left. I don't know if there's we're going to play this thing to the end or not, but again, it's 4-0.
Well, I can tell. So I've been in Coach Burke's position before, right? I've been in games where it's been a blowout. We've been facing darkness. It's a real tough call to say to the ref, hey, shut it down, for a couple of reasons, right? You don't want to be shown to your team to say, I'm packing it in. This is your last effort. You want to get the guys to be able to play as much as they possibly can. I've done it, right? I remember there was one year we were losing badly to Locust Valley. It was a game like this. I just told the ref, hey, let's just shut it down.
Here's Zavala. He's going to take a shot off the back of the defender. So he pulled up a little bit too much, but he was still looking to get another goal. And some play there. You just don't want anything up in the air collision with a goalie. Any kind of injury like that. But, yeah, I guess I see both sides of it. It is another reason why, and I'm not sure how the AAAs pan out, but where Nassau County really makes a concerted effort to have games this time of year on fields with lights. Conversation that we have, don't we? We fill out that Little survey in the beginning of the year, who's got him, who doesn't.
And now we have an injury situation, which is exactly what we were trying to avoid.
So it looks like they're going to bring a trainer out onto the field. So we are going to take some time to look at the upcoming sports schedule. So we'll see what we've got lined up on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Plenty going on. We talked about already girls soccer, and it's going to be Hills East and East Islip, Section 11 Suffolk County matchup, and then Nassau County football, Floral Park versus Southside, the Knights and the Cyclones, and you can see it on YouTube.com, Varsity Media, live streamed and after the fact. And, of course, we've talked about it repeatedly. Can't say enough, folks. Massapequa fans, football time. Massapequa versus Farmingdale, 1 p.m. this Saturday. And then you've got St. Anthony's and Chaminade for the Catholic School Battle at 1:30. Both of those on YouTube.com/Varsity Media. Varsity Media Pass as well.
And it's optimized for iPhones and for your cell phones. Stream wherever you go.
Stream wherever you go. You can have Chris Sweeney in your pocket.
If you're sitting at Lifestyle Sports, talking to the great people at Lifestyle about an upcoming order, have the game on.
Absolutely. And again, we got to thank the Massapequa Booster Club. We mentioned them. And, of course, Lifestyles, repeatedly. Since this is the last regular season Varsity Media game, Lifestyles, thanks for jumping on board for all of them and continuing to support us through the playoffs.
And it looks like that's going to be the end of the day for Mr. Zavala. He's going to take a seat, hugs all around. Certainly you could make a strong case for him to be the man of the match.
No doubt about it. And Massapequa now. So we continue play out there, folks, and we're going to try to look at the screen because we're lucky to see players at this point. Numbers are definitely going to be difficult. So we're going to do our best to try to give you some of the action. And, again, don't let the camera fool you. It is pretty dark out there and we're not going to keep talking about it. Can't make that the narrative for the rest, but it is wild to me. 8 minutes left, and Uniondale still trying to bring it down. Nice battle down low.
Yeah, a great defensive effort there from Konstantinos to stop that Uniondale attack on that weak side.
And that's booted back in. Uniondale, a little slip on the play, continue the battle.
And that is not Raymond Zavala.
It is not. He's got the hair like him. Did you think that for a second and then had to do a little reset?
No, I knew they had the two guys with dyed hair. That looks. Could you think you can pull that off, Coach, Mr. Anderson?
Yeah, of course.
Well, maybe we should both
What a
do
wig.
that for our next broadcast. We'll get the dyed hair.
Well, Halloween is not too far away, and I believe we have a double-A final or something or semifinal on Halloween.
We do indeed. And, one of those great traditions that the soccer community has is, when you make playoffs and, you all dye your hair. Some of the teams do it to start the season. A lot of teams do it when they make playoffs. And, it's a fun little tradition that these teams have here in the soccer community.
It certainly is, and playoffs are going to be underway very soon. And it will be quarterfinals. Might be some play-in games. We'll have quarterfinals, and then Varsity Media Sports Network picking it all up again in the semis and the finals for Nassau County before they move on to the Long Island Championship, and then eventually up to Middletown for the States. But there is going to be a whole bunch of action on the Varsity Media Sports Network, and those games will begin on the 24th of this month.
I'm going to correct you there, Rob. The 21st is the Class AA round ones.
Yeah, but not on Varsity Media. I'll correct you, buddy. Come on now.
Sorry,
What do you want to do? Only you're the nut job that goes to games live. If you want to watch them, it starts on the 24th. We do start on the 21st. 24th, though, is the Class B semis, and then we move on 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th. And then, again, the finals will be the 30th for Class B, Halloween, AAA, and then the A and AA November 1st, and that'll wrap it up.
And on that 24th, I will be trading my headset for a clipboard. I'll be on the sideline coaching my team, the Oyster Bay Baymen, against the Carl Place Frogs in the second half of that Class B semifinal doubleheader.
I might trade my headset in for infrared light. I'd imagine this is going to be stopped soon. So we'll see. No? So gameplay will continue on here, and kudos to the Massapequa faithful out in the stands, still hanging out here, watching things. And so a little back and forth now.
And Joe D'Amico just has not quit this whole game. He's still holding it down back there, stopping those balls. You know, you can see he's frustrated. You can see it in his face. You can see it in his body language. He's just frustrated and exasperated, but he is still just going. And that's going to be it, folks. They have just called this game on account of darkness. Uniondale 4, Massapequa 0.
And, folks, that's it. Triple A's have wrapped up here on this field. Massapequa and Uniondale playing their last game. Massapequa will end their season 4-7-2. And a lot of bit of future on this team. They've got a young team, some freshmen and sophomore, and Coach Matt Burke excited about his future with this squad. Uniondale moving on. They're going to have a record of 8-3-2 moving up the seeding. And you got to tip your hat to Mr. Zavala with the hat trick. Martinez with the opener. He's got the eventual game winner. And kudos to Massapequa's keeper, Mr. Fiorentino. He had a heck of a game. I mean, do not let the scoreboard dictate how he played. But this game ended because of darkness. But the light will continue for the Knights as they move on in the playoffs. So that's going to end this production. 4-0 again. It's Uniondale over Massapequa. This is a Varsity Media production for executive producer Ben Turchin, the technical director magician Chris Sweeney, out there camera operators Kevin Catalanato and Ron Pierre, my partner Brian Donahue. I'm Robert Anderson. We want to thanks for joining us here today. And next we're going to be bringing you the playoffs.